still following my way. You should know I've got no regrets. One day we'll meet I'm still believing us, 'cause I've put my arms around you, and what I felt was
Who the hell can wait till morning? Talk now at latenightsportsradio.com.
And welcome, folks, to another musicless intro. iTunes is failing miserably. I am Keith Grieve from 87sportsfans.com, joined by Mr. Stephen Taylor. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm still here.
Yes. Yes, you are.
I'm still here. And if it sounds like there's a wild rhinoceros running through the radio station, for those of you listening, it is just my cat who is, I don't know if she got into catnip or something. She's on crack. So she's running around in the background, and she should run herself out soon. So,
is she in love?
No, I really think she got into some catnip, and she's just tripping out right now.
I don't know anything about animals, so that's usually when people go crazy, it's because of that, or drugs, either or. So there would be the catnip angle there.
It's like catnip for clowns.
Right. A reminder that this and every broadcast is brought to you by CG-imaging.com, CG Imaging, virtually creating reality, and also by The Lockbox by Stephen Taylor, available for digital download and paperback orders on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. The Lockbox by Stephen Taylor.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I ever get time off of work, hopefully the sequel will be next year.
Is that ahead of schedule or behind schedule?
Oh, it's so behind schedule. It's in the works, but it's so behind schedule. I'm still going to try to get it out in time, but it'll be a miracle, especially with all the stuff going on in the world.
Well, you have your whole life to write your first book, and then about 20 minutes to write your second. So
yeah, and it's got to be so much better. So that'll be fun.
Right. All right. So where do we begin? So, Stephen, I'm just going to throw this out here, and if the answer to this question is too personal, then by all means you do not have to answer. Because I know we are going cold into this. No prep, no rundown. We're just going to go cold through the headlines.
And we're always at our best.
Yeah. Is there a difference in your mind between disciplining a child and beating them with a stick?
Yes. 1,000%.
Are the Vikings right or wrong for reinstating him for this week?
Very wrong. Very, very wrong. I have to admit, I usually do not support broadcasters getting on their soapbox and preaching to the choir. But for those of you that missed Chris Carter yesterday, who is probably next to, Warren Moon, one of the most famous Minnesota Vikings ever. I know Warren Moon was an Oiler, but he finished with the Vikings. He said no one could say it any better than him. He said, there's never a reason to hit a child. He understands that former generations, people, his mom, he really talked about that she did the best she could with 5 kids being a single mother, but looking back at it now, he knows that she did a lot of wrong things. And there is never, ever a reason to hit a child, let alone a 4-year-old with a switch. And for those of you who don't know, a switch is just a stick, pretty much. And to hit a 4-year-old with a stick to get them to do something is appalling. And honestly, I am a huge, if you listen to the show, I am a huge Adrian Peterson fan. Yes, Ray Rice, all the stuff going on with the abuse of women, yeah, that's awful. Abusing a child, to me, is on a level greater than that, especially a 4-year-old child. Because if you watch the video with Ray Rice, as bad as it was, she is a grown adult, and yeah, he should never have laid his hands on her. But to get a stick and beat a 4-year-old child to the point that it causes contusions and just visible lacerations, I honestly don't think Adrian Peterson should be allowed on a football field. He's lost his right to play a sport and make millions of dollars, in my opinion.
Well, because I go back and forth. As you know, I like to play devil's advocate on this.
Of course, you always do.
I do, because I like to examine all angles of the arguments, and I don't. Yeah. I do not make excuses for child abuse. There's just simply no excuse. But the reason that I pause and I'm looking at this is, what role does an employer have in this situation. Like, for instance, if I get charged with child abuse tomorrow, does my employer have the right to fire me based on that?
I believe so.
Yeah, but you don't, though. They don't. It all depends. Like, if I was, because I work my day job, there's a dress code, and the company logo is on our shirts. If I'm wearing said shirt in public and beating my child in public, then it could be construed as acts detrimental to the company.
Yeah.
So I guess from that angle, the fact that everybody knows who Adrian Peterson's employer is, you could take it from that angle, and that's really all semantics. This is really a moral question, though, and the question that the NFL and the Minnesota Vikings have to ask is, what kind of organization do we have to be? And Peterson's statement today doesn't do him any favors.
No, not at all.
Because it just shows just how, and I really try not to use this word, overuse it, because everybody uses it too much and they don't really understand what it means. But it's pure ignorance.
Yeah.
Just pure ignorance. I mean, I'll read this from usatoday.com. I voluntarily, let's see, let me read some quotes. And of course, if the autoplay ads and these websites just kill me. Anyway, his attorney asked him not to. I never want to be a distraction. I never managed being in a position where the world is judging my parenting skills and calling me a child abuser. Well, you know why they're calling you a child abuser, Adrian? Because you abused your children. Okay?
Yeah.
Just saying. Voluntarily appeared before the grand jury, interviewed. I never intended to harm my son. Well, it doesn't matter what your intentions are. There's nothing more wasteful in life than good intentions.
Exactly.
Well, by the way, I forgot to give the number, 585-633-7487, if you want to join the discussion, 585-633-7487. Okay. I have to live with the fact that when I disciplined my son the way I was disciplined as a child, I caused an injury that I never intended or thought would happen. I know many people disagree. I understand after meeting with a psychologist, I've learned a lot. I had to reevaluate how I disciplined my son. So, but let's be honest here. He's not reevaluating because he's had a crisis of conscience.
Yeah,
you know
he's being forced to.
Yeah, he got caught. And that's what. You're not sorry you did it. You're sorry you got caught. And the fact that the Vikings read this statement, or whether it's before or after, I'm not sure of the timeline, that this statement gets put out and then he's reinstated. Like, oh, okay, never mind, Adrian's good. No, he's not. Because if you read between the lines on that, he still has no idea what exactly was so bad about what he was doing. He doesn't get it. It's not that big a deal. Oh, you people are all bent out of shape and care about it, but this is just the way I was brought up. And I wrote about it yesterday morning, about the failures of Adrian Peterson on 87sportsfans.com. It's a failure as a father, as a man, as a citizen. I don't care how you were brought up. You can break that cycle. And he's got the economic wherewithal to break the cycle in his life, and he chose not to. So, Minnesota, the Vikings organization, we understand where your values are simply by supporting someone that would do this to a child.
Yeah. And you know, and kind of playing off of what you said, and I looked at the same thing with Michael Vick, where when he had the whole dog abuse scandal, saying, well, that's where I came from. In this day and age, with the media and how accessible information is, because back in the day when he was probably getting, you know, beat with a stick, and those generations didn't have the knowledge that we have. And I think that's what makes this generation different, is we have understanding, we have knowledge, we're a more advanced, I know it's going to sound, but we're